Hello again, my name is Philip. I am a compiler developer with Codasip. I'm here at Embedded World with my colleague Pavel. And today I will explain you how you can get all the necessary tools, either for the open Swerve core or your own extended RISC-V core in one click. Also, to begin with, I would like to thank the RISC-V Foundation and also the other sponsors of the event for the possibility to present here today. I would like to also explain that the presentation will be divided into several topics. Each of them is focusing on a different product that Codasip is offering. So yeah, this is the structure of the presentation. Obviously, let's start with the company introduction. So Codasip is a provider of RISC-V IP and the related technology. We've been in the RISC-V business for several years now. We are the founding member of the RISC-V Foundation and also the gold member of the CHIPS Alliance. Our R&D is based in Czech Republic, but the headquarters are based in Munich here in Germany, and we also have offices in the United States and China. So the first product I would like to talk about is Codasip Studio. Codasip Studio is a set of tools which are designed to design RISC-V processors or to customize them. The whole process is based on our own architecture description language that we call CODAL. The language syntax is based on C, which is quite familiar to most of the programmers. You can see actually a snippet of the code here in the slide. This small bit of the code is the representation of multiple accumulate instruction in the CODAL model. The complete model of a processor architecture written in this language can be supplied to the Codasip Studio, which then automatically generates all the design kits that you will need. It also generates the verification environment as is stated on the slide. This process has been used by our customers who have taped out their cores, so we consider the process silicon proven. This slide is a graphical representation of the process that I have described. In the top you can see that the customer of the user of the Codasip Studio can either start by designing their own RISC-V model from scratch, that means writing the complete architecture in the CODAL language, or they may decide to choose one of our predefined cores and just extend it, or maybe modify something that Codasip has already done in the model. And then the model is supplied to the Codasip Studio, and automatically is generated the complete SDK, which contains the compilation toolchain and simulator and other tools, and also the complete HDK, which contains the RTL and the verification environment. So this way you can get your ideal RISC-V core. And it basically works in click of a single button. This brings us to our second product, which is Codasip Processor IP. We have a family of processors that we call the BK series. There are different processors in the series, 32 and 64-bit processors that vary in the number of pipeline stages. These processors are ready, so they are available immediately. They have been verified, so they can be taped out immediately, basically. But what again is the interesting part is the connection between our processor IP and the Codasip Studio, as I basically explained before. Our users typically choose one of our predefined cores which implement the standard configuration of RISC-V. In the case of this slide, it is the 32-bit RISC-V core IMC instruction set. And then they, for example, add their own custom extension to the instruction set, supply the modified CODAL model to the Codasip Studio, and they receive the modified processor. This is in the slide mentioned by the X in the configuration, and they receive, as I mentioned, the SDK, which is aware of the custom extension, and also the HDK, which in the RTL reflects the extension that the customer has done to it. Well, last but not least, I would like to talk about the Swerve core and the work that Codasip has been doing lately with it. So for those who don't know about the Swerve core, it is a 32-bit IMC RISC-V core designed by Western Digital. It is supposed to be used in their products, so for the use case of Western Digital, it is considered a high-performance core. And what Western Digital did is decided to open source the core, and it is now freely available on the GitHub of Chips Alliance. So if you want to, you can download it and use it the way you want. Well, there must be some trick, otherwise this slide wouldn't have any meaning. The only thing which Western Digital is providing is the RTL itself. So if you want to deploy the core in your SoC, you probably know that you will very probably need to synthesize the core or to simulate it, and you will need tools that can do it. And this is still the responsibility of the user to get them. This will generally require some manpower that will provide you these tools, which is time and also money consuming. Also, you have to know which tools you will need in the process and where you can get all the tools. So this is where the last product of Codasip is stepping in, which is the Swerve support package. It is a package which will contain the IP from Western Digital itself, but it will also contain open source tools for hardware and also software design. And it will also contain scripts which are commonly used with the commercial HDK tools. It will contain documentation, and we will provide support for the contents of the package. Also, if there are any updates to the RTL or the tools, we will provide regular updates. The whole package will be in an environment which will already solve all the dependencies that the various tools have, so you also don't need to worry about that. And again, it will be downloadable from our web page in one click, basically. The last slide are the planned contents for the Swerve support package. These are the different tools that we received some interest for from the RISC-V community. So if you see some of your preferred tools, you can mail us to know that you are also interested. And if you find some tools that you are not, or if you have some favorite tools that you don't see in the slide, you can also tell us that there are some tools missing. Well, this is all from the presentation. Thank you again to the RISC-V Foundation. And now it's your turn, either to start using our products or also to ask some questions if you have any. If you don't, we will be at our booth, so you can stop by and ask us in person then. Thank you.